Hello, YouTubers. I'm doing this on the fly because I am leaving town, and I realized I hadn't posted a vlog in forever. I know I was supposed to tell you about my coming out story, and I might actually try to do that before I get to my mother's house. We're actually going to Dallas. My grandmother is not well, and her kidneys are down to like 10%, so I'm not going to be able to go down on the 4th because I'm going to be working. I've already volunteered to work because I want to go to the Callan reunion instead of the McDonald reunion. And because the McDonald's are, you never know what's going to come out of their mouth. I mean, we've had discussions on the internet, on Facebook, about homosexuality and how all homosexuals are going to burn in hell. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm kind of taking myself out of that for the weekend. Anyway, so we're going to go now, today and tomorrow, and I think I'm back on Wednesday because I have to work Wednesday night, so I can see my grandparents, because there's no telling how long she's going to last. But getting off of that, so my coming out story, it's rather long, and I'm going to just kind of hit the high points. When I was going to Cameron University back in the late 90s, 96, 97, I was part of the Aggie Ambassadors, which are the ones that put on the freshman orientation every year. They do tours, and mainly orientation is their big thing they have to do. Anyway, we went to 2 national conferences for Aggie, for ambassadors, like freshman orientation peoples. Anyway, one of the things that they had at both of these was a discussion on LGBT issues and how to bring them into your freshman orientation. Of course, the 2 times that I had seen it, the people I'd worked with, they were all in Texas, at Austin mainly, but other campuses around Texas. And I wondered, when we came back, I said, why don't we ever talk about LGBT issues in our, let's see if I can make this look brighter for you, okay, in our freshman orientation. And she said, we don't even have a group here, so it's not like it's going to be in their face. It's not like it's going to be something they're, going to see every day or even every week. So I got it in my head that that's what we needed, was a group at Cameron University. Now, granted, I was still in the closet. I hadn't just really told anyone except my brother. I definitely had not told my mother. And I knew that if I was going to get this group going, I was going to have to be an open book, because this was going to be news. I knew it was going to be news. And it was. It turned out to be news. So, in 1997, the day before Father's Day, I sat in the laundry room of my mom's house, where I was staying there. I sat in the laundry room and cried and told her I was gay. And she was like, you know how I feel about this. It's okay. That was it. My brother had come out before me, probably about a year and a half before me. It didn't go over well with him, but he did it a whole different way. So it was, it was totally different. Anyway, so the first step toward having a group at Cameron University was done. I had told my mother that I was gay. The next day, I went to my very first Pride. And I'm not going to say that she was totally for it. She was like, oh, okay, you're gay, it's a big deal. No, it was rough the first, 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years even. And when I started talking to people about how we needed this group on campus, it got the attention of several of the radio stations around here. It got the attention of the local TV station, and they all did interviews, and they all wanted to know why I need to do this. And I knew it was because we needed. Cameron University is a local college. In fact, Cameron University is, I'm going to say 75%, maybe more than that, commuter. The median age at Cameron University at that time was like 27. So people that were, gay and lesbian kids, transindered, bisexual, those kids that felt like they could not be themselves at home, were not going to stay in Lawton, Oklahoma and go to college. They were going to go to OU, or they're going to go to OSU, or they're going to go somewhere where they can be themselves. So, Cameron University was not that. And I think what really helped, I was, at the time I was working at Red Lobster, and I probably had more of my straight friends, allies, that knew that agreed that we needed something like this on campus. So they were willing to help. One thing I couldn't do was find a faculty advisor. It took me a year and a half. During that year and a half, I was still busy. I went and visited several organizations in Dallas, down in Waco, Oklahoma City, Stillwater, Norman. I went all over the place trying to get my bylaws, my constitution and bylaws together, because I knew I had that. I knew I had to have that. You had to have 7 members plus yourself, a constitution, and an advisor. Well, who would have known that it would have been, the advisor would have been the hardest part of that to get together. So a year and a half later, we were still without an advisor. We were not meeting. We couldn't do anything. We couldn't do a physical facility request. We couldn't do any of that. So John Batka, Dr. John Batka, had moved from somewhere in New England, I believe Dartmouth, I'm not really sure, but I kind of think that's where he came from, in that area. And he emailed me and said, "Do you have a faculty advisor yet for your group?" And I was like, "No, I don't." He said, "Well, keep looking. Let me do some talking around his department." He was a psychology professor. "And if I can't find someone that will do it for you, then I will do it for you." And he did. He became our advisor. He remained our advisor until he left campus. And at that point, I became the advisor, because I had moved into a working position at the college. The way that I remember it, we had our first meeting in September. The same year that Matthew Shepard died in October. And if you don't think if that doesn't tell you there's a need, a real need, then I don't know what does. So every year we have done a candlelight vigil on National Coming Out Day in remembrance of Matthew Shepard and where we've come from. Not having a group to having a group that was 35 strong, having a group that was me and the president trying to figure out how we're going to keep this thing going, to some years not having anybody at all. But I also knew that it was at Cameron that organization was not going to go away. It was going to be there for those who needed it. And it has. It's had its really strong moments, and then it's had kind of a little slow, but it's actually getting better now. We have a really great group of kids right now, and it was a catalyst, I think, for Lawton Fort Sill Pride to become an organization here in the city. So that's really the gist of my coming out story. I am now to my mom's house, so I'm going to turn you off, and I'm going to get in the car with her, and I will try to get this uploaded tonight. They have pretty good Wi-Fi at the hotel, so I will see what I can do, and then I will talk to you later. Bye.